Hey everyone, Stu here. Just as a heads up, Jacob's audio sounds like trash throughout this. It doesn't get any worse, but it doesn't get better until 3/4 of the way through this episode. So if it's driving you crazy during the beginning here, you may want to skip this one. I'll promise I'll give a really good recap at the beginning of next episode. But if you can put up with his terrible audio quality, this episode fucking slaps. See you guys on the other side of the intro music. Love you, bye. Welcome to Oops, All Apocalypses, a show where we explore the collapse of society by playing fun, tabletop role-playing games. I'm your host, Stu Masterson, and I'm joined by the two best Super Bowl halftime acts.
Hey, I'm Brady, and I am also U2 after 9/11.
That was a pretty good one.
And we play Book McCready, the super smart sleuth who's stuck in a rut, the rut of prison again. He's imprisoned again.
And I am Left Shark again. And I play Ocean, a gentle giant who is starting to feel maybe a little bit of regret for his previous convictions, but still pretty convicted that they should be waiting in these jail cells, but maybe a little less so now.
We're about to be saved.
Saved. We'll see if that's true. This week's BuzzFeed Presents Apocalypse is brought to us by our very own Brady.
Okay. I'm gonna go with what type of fireplace are you?
What the fuck is this?
What?
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
What are you talking about?
I'll start.
I'm so upset right now.
Okay. I lied. What bird of prey are you?
It's mildly better. I'm still not happy.
And what type of fireplace or chimney do you perch above? Okay, here we go. Book. I think Book is a barn owl, but he perches above a really old brick fireplace and chimney that the rest of the building has fallen down, but that's all that's left standing.
Does he ponder what once had been there?
Yes, yeah. And there's a pile of books after the house melted away. There's a pile of books in the middle of what was the house.
The bones of the family.
Yeah.
What does he hunt?
Ooh, a lot of voles.
Voles, yeah. Fuck voles.
Yeah.
Those guys are the worst.
Voles.
They're really cute, actually.
Not a whole lot of meat on a vole, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's a skinny barn owl.
It's a little snack.
I'm kind of upset that you chose an owl as well, because I was going to go with a Blackston's fish owl for what Ocean would be.
A different flavor of owl.
Yeah.
I also love owls, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all owl buds here.
So Blackston fish owl, they're huge owls, big old things. And they just look soft and fluffy, but they're super good hunters. And I think that just sums up Ocean in a nutshell. Big, giant guy, soft and fluffy, but can be a threat if needs be.
Okay, what type of fireplace?
Oh, probably...
it can be a metaphorical fireplace.
Probably resides in a tree high above an old, long since abandoned campsite.
What does he dream of?
He dreams of fish, better fish than what he has at this campsite.
Yeah. And eons before, a great river flew through there, and he can kind of sense that.
Yeah, and he longs for those days when the fish ran free before man came and put up campsites where his wilderness once was.
I would want to be an owl, but I want to remain creative and not choose an owl, since you two already selected them.
No, you can be a different species of owl.
There's a billion different owls. You could be an eastern screech owl.
Ooh. I do love Screech from Saved by the Bell, so that sounds like a real good
Eastern
choice for me.
screech owl. He just gives me off your vibes looking at him.
I will look at a picture of that while I give my real answer, which is a little penguin on top of an electric Amish fireplace.
What's the significance of the fireplace? The Amish fireplace.
I think it's cool that Amish people make electric fireplaces.
Okay.
That is cool. I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah, I used to see ads for them all the time. You basically live in Pennsylvania. You should know this, Brain.
Yeah, but I don't buy fireplaces from Amish people. I don't buy fireplaces from anyone, really. Do you guys want to see where I got today's BuzzFeed Presents Apocalypse question?
Lay it on me.
Question from?
Is it because there's an owl behind me and you saw it and commented on it?
Nope. Okay. The first question that I later changed was about fireplaces.
Just a picture of a fucking house.
Yeah, and
It's a picture of an owl.
and that's a sketch of an owl. I have a sketch of a house with a brick fireplace and a sketch of an owl above my desk.
Wow, how disappointing.
Well, when you're put on the spot, you gotta live and thrive in the improv in the moment, which I failed to do.
Book Snook of Book Takes. Hey, coming in before Brady comes in to introduce this, I just have a quick Book Snook edition that I've continued reading every Warhammer novel, and I stick by my previous recommendation of do not read every Warhammer novel.
Have they gotten better, or have they kind of started to...
A coin flip as you progress through the series. Literally,
Okay.
one will be pretty good, one will be pretty bad. None of them have been terrible, and none of them have been great.
My Book Snook of Book Takes. One, have you guys purchased Parable of the Sower yet?
Oh, I completely forgot.
Interesting. No, I haven't.
I haven't started reading it yet, but I purchased it. So I'm basically halfway done. So yeah, get Parable of the Sower. We're going to do it next week.
Oh,
How
no.
Christian is this book?
How Christian is it?
Yeah, it sounds
think
like
it's-
it's very Christian.
I think it's medium Christian. But no. I think it's not Christian. I think it's medium theological.
So would our cool friend Jesus give it 1 thumbs up or 2 thumbs down?
Well, I think it's about someone like sowing the seeds of a religious movement in the apocalypse.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But like not a Christian religious.
So he would not be a fan.
Maybe not.
These are heretics.
But like I feel like our cool friend Jesus was cool with people who were nice. So I feel like if
Yeah,
she
I
was
think our
starting-
cool friend Jesus would just like a good story too. Like I think he'd be into a good book.
Yeah, spreading good vibes. I feel like
I
he'd be
think he'd be
for.
intelligent enough to understand, the distinction between fiction and
Yeah. Well,
nonfiction.
Oh, I thought Stu was asking about like the actual character. Like, would he vibe with the character who's doing the religious stuff? Or are you saying would he vibe with the book itself?
The book itself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fiction was around back then.
Was it?
The other one is Invincible season 3 is coming out currently. So there are 3 episodes out now, I think. 3 or 4. 3. I don't know. Anyway.
And it will probably be the only 3 or 4 episodes until 3 years later when they do the second half of the season.
No, it's all coming out.
Is it for real? Because season 2, they divided into 2 halves, and it was like a year gap between the 2. It was
Well aware,
ridiculous.
my friend. I was itching for that second half. But no, they took the feedback that was a shit idea and decided not to do that.
Good.
So we're kind of back to the theme of is Invincible post-apocalyptic? No, but there's a lot of stuff that happens that is apocalyptic, and maybe some time travel to some post-apocalyptic times. I'll let you decide.
Oh,
I think you've already talked about the time travel.
That was Invincible season 2. They do it again in season 3, but it's a different post-apocalypse, so that's fun.
That's much more exciting. Also, Yellow Jacket season 3 out, and that's kind of like survival, hanging out there. Same sort of vibe. So go watch that as it comes out week by week.
Is season 3 going to be the last season?
I have completely lost track of the timeline of how long they're stuck in the woods, but I don't think so.
I feel like if it's not, it should be. I feel like it's running out of steam a little bit.
They could do some crazy left turn things.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you watched any of this, Jacob?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's actually kind of interesting. It does actually relate to keeping on topic with our podcast. It has some interesting storytelling aspects that I think apply to what we do here. But Yellow Jackets, for anyone not aware like Jacob, is a story that takes place in the 90s. A high school all-girls soccer team plane crashes into the wilderness and stuff goes wrong. The story's also told, though, by jumping forward to the survivors at like 20, 30 years later or some shit and how they're going. It's very interesting, but storytelling wise, why it's important. It's not clear if there's actual supernatural elements going on or not, or if these girls are just going crazy in the woods.
So it's Lost.
Yes, it's like Lost, except Lost, I think, actually confirmed most of the supernatural elements eventually. And interesting storytelling thing, because like we talk here about how in Oops All Apocalypses we do some nice storytelling that's generated organically as we go along. This story is not like planned out beforehand. And last year, at least, I read something that the writer's room for Yellow Jackets was like split 50-50 on if they thought it was supernatural or not.
Oh, geez.
Some people might like hear that and be like, oh, that's dumb. They haven't even planned out the story. But that's really how like every TV show goes. Like,
that is how every
they're
TV show
built by a
goes.
committee. Over time, no one really has 100% vision on the answers to most of these questions that get developed.
Yeah.
And it usually creates some pretty interesting stories. An example I like to give is Breaking Bad, which is like the most tight narrative of all time, only had one season that was planned out fully. And that was what a lot of people probably consider the worst season, which is the one with the plane crash at the end.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only one that they had planned as it started. The rest were written week by week as they went along. So everyone, come up with interesting stuff always. Don't try to plan out something long.
Good tips.
So go watch that.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, listen to the rest of this episode as we get right back to the action. Previously, you all were helpfully brought back to the location you're trying to get to anyway, which is this giant defense factory deep in the baffles ran by the Boxcar Children. And you found this massive factory. I believe last episode was mostly me just describing it out loud while you guys sat in silence listening intently. But you got brought back where you talked with Hot Josh extensively. She kind of grilled you guys, trying to figure out what you know, what's going on. And eventually she said, okay, while we figure out how to stop this catastrophe, that was pretty much Book's fault, where there's a massive door that is potentially going to open and flood this entire chamber. They're going to throw you in prison. So they put you in a jail cell. And as you guys pondered your next move, you were greeted by... Is it still Crashy or is it Crash now? I think he's Crash again. So you were greeted by Crash as he came down, stumbling down the hallway with his right arm completely melted off below the elbow. And he slumped against the bars and kind of dejectedly admonished you for talking to Hot Josh.
So
Book is sitting in silent shame.
we have really fucked this one up, haven't we?
And when you say we, you mean me.
Yeah, but he's gonna be nice about it. But Ocean runs up to the cell. I assume it's just like a your standard prison cell with bars and stuff, so he can reach
Big
out.
white bars, yeah.
Yeah, it runs up to it and it's like, Crashy, what happened?
I had to get in here. I had to repledge to the Boxcar Children, and when I first threw a rock, it went pretty great. But this time, I think the gods were a little mad at me, and they fried my painting arm right off.
Not your painting arm.
Is your dick another 2 inches bigger?
Yes, it is. 2 greater inches.
Ocean reaches through the gate to lay hands on Crash you to see if he can healing touch him, because I don't think I
Roll
can
your healing touch.
I don't think I can cure a disintegrated arm.
Grow his arm back. Grow his arm back, but shrink his dick back.
Okay, that is an 11.
Nice. You have never failed a healing touch roll. So good, Adam.
I'm going to knit their bones back together.
Grow it
I'm assuming he, whatever bones he has left, I guess. And then I'm going to, they're probably pretty well cauterized since it just got vaporized. So I'm going to take the pain away.
How nice of you. So yes, this warm glow comes out of your fingertips. And he kind of pulls himself back up, and you see the flesh on it, which was just freshly seared, kind of fades away. There's still a significant scar, and his whole arm below the elbow is still gone, but he kind of wiggles it around and he kind of stretches a little bit and he goes, wow, yeah, no, I feel way better. Thank you.
I'll make you a prosthetic. We're going to get you painting again. I swear it.
Something that'll let me paint?
It's just going to be a fucking broom arm so you can dip your arm in paint and smear it around, but I think it'll work.
That'd be really cool. Or maybe I saw I'm supposed to compete with like Frida, so maybe like an apparatus where I can hook in a sprint can or something. Sprint can? Is that the word?
We'll figure something
Actually, we
out.
could make it modular so you could stick in a brush, you could stick in a roller, or you could stick in a spray paint can, I reckon.
Okay, well, to do all those things, we got to get you guys out of here alive first. So what are we doing?
Got to get out of here alive, and we need to talk to Hot Josh.
No.
You already talked enough to Hot Josh.
No. God damn it, Ocean.
Why is their names so similar, Crash?
Okay. Well, I think I can get you out of these bars, and I can definitely come with you. But we're gonna have to be sneaky.
Hell yeah.
Where do we try to get to? We want to get straight to Hot Goss?
Do we want a robot body? Do we still have the power core on us?
Yes. They did take your weapons.
Yeah, except for my cane sword.
You may want to try to get those back too. Like any RPG where you lose all of your shit, you have to find the chest. There's one chest that gives you all your money back. There's one chest that gives you all your items back. And there's usually a third chest that gives you all your equipment back. Sometimes they break it up between party members. I think like Final Fantasy V may have done that.
A lot of the times they're in the same room that you got captured in.
Yeah, sometimes it's just in a sack.
Exactly.
How big is the power core?
It's like an armless Palmer liquid death.
Okay, got it. Where did we hide that?
It's just in your bag. You guys still have your bag. You still have all of your notes. I think Ocean has the power core. They just took your weapons.
It's pretty cool that they didn't confiscate that.
They're pretty cool.
Do we want to go get a robot body? Do you want to get a robot body? Maybe make a wish? Maybe grow our dicks?
You want to build a robot?
Maybe grow our dicks? Maybe ask for something else? Maybe?
Well, they've been real dicks to us. So why the hell not? But we still need to find, I think the first priority is we need to talk to Hot Goss, right? Goss?
That's correct. Yes. You want to talk to Hot Goss. Wait, you can also talk to Hot Ross if you want. He's not nearly as bad as Hot Josh.
No. Goss.
What about the Hot Boss?
Goss with the G.
I've talked to too many people that aren't Hot Goss today.
You want me to like bring you to the robots? Are you going to make a wish to them? Are you going to join the boxcar? Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. If you guys join, they're not going to be allowed to throw you in prison.
We're going to do a couple things, I reckon. Just you wait.
Smash cut. You're walking through a hall.
We're sneaking through a hallway.
You're sneaking down a hallway. Where are you headed towards?
Ocean leans over to crash you. All right, so where are they deliberating about what they're going to do with us? I assume they said they were going to have to talk this over and come up with a plan. Do you know where they might be hiding at?
Yeah, I'm guessing they're in the Grand Poobah war room.
Okay, so we need to avoid that route.
You don't want to go see them yet. Okay, it's deeper into it, so that should be okay. The flight suits / our lovely protectors are in one of the hangars on the outside, so we should be able to kind of navigate in that direction. There's a few times we're probably gonna have to sneak by some people though.
Okay, and where would Hot Goss be?
I'm certain in that war room.
Oh shit. Well, how would they react if we came in one of the flight suits? Would they think we were, chosen for something? Or would they think we're bad?
They'd probably be pretty miffed.
Okay.
Yeah, but I reckon they'd talk to us.
There's some rumors that your mom may have stolen the last one.
Yeah. I'd say those are past rumors. That's just true.
Okay. Well, for most people, it's rumors, but yeah. Hot Josh has been kind of upset about that one because she was pretty sold on that being the case originally, and no one believed her.
Yeah, but hear me out. What a bargaining chip would it be to show up in a fucking war suit?
Oh yeah, it would be deadly.
What I mean is we could if we commandeer one, I guarantee Hot Goss would talk to us. There's no chance we're getting put back in those cells. And then 2, we'd have a bargaining chip to offer back to them in exchange for their help in furthering our plans. Although could also really piss them off. So I'll leave it up to you, Ocean. It's your call. Also, is Hot Goss like nicer than Hot Josh?
Yes, tremendously.
Okay, then Ocean, I'll leave it up to you. You can decide if we want to show up in a very powerful suit of armor or not. I have not been making the best decisions of late, so
Well,
The only additional context I'll provide, I think just a little bit of Crash's expertise here that would both be a good bargaining chip and would probably make them pissed off. It's one of those both things, not an either or. And then I would say you guys take one of them, they're probably going to try to lock down that last one much more. So if you're trying to get both of them, that's going to be a bit of a hassle for later times.
Ocean thinks about it for a second and then looks over at Book and says, I like the idea of getting the armor, but the last thing we want to do right now is further antagonize these people. I think that's just a great way to just burn all our bridges at once.
You never want to burn all the bridges. You leave one so you can still run
Yeah,
away.
we've burnt most of them here, but how about
I
this?
feel like we burnt one. I feel like we burnt a Hot Josh bridge, but it sounds like that bridge was never very stable to begin with. Just saying. Sounds like we maybe did ourselves a favor.
While they're deliberating, what if we do our own little investigating here to try and figure out if we can figure out something to close the door with, to keep that door from opening?
Ooh, like maybe we go throw stones and join. We throw stones at, we don't steal a robot. We just throw stones at the robots. We join. Then they can't kill us or whatever. I think. Is that how that works?
That is how it works. Once you're in, you're in. But I have to warn you, it's one of those 3 strike systems. So like now if I leave and come back, I'd never be able to leave again.
Right.
I'd be stuck in forever without dying. They kill you when you try to leave the 3rd time.
Oh, we still got 3 tries, right?
Yeah.
Let's go throw some rocks, man.
Yeah, let's join the. You know what? You seem like pretty cool guys.
We are.
I don't think anything could go wrong with us joining the Boxcar Children.
Oh no.
How you've grown since you tried to convince us our ways were stupid and dumb.
I mean, they are, but I'm here for it. I've since learned that I'm also stupid and dumb.
Your ways are directly benefiting us getting our way. So by proxy, your ways are great for now.
Okay, I'm going to lay out a plan for you guys. And he turns, as you guys are sneaking down this hallway, there's a big whiteboard on the side of the wall. And he turns and grabs a marker out. And he goes, so up here, about 4 hangars up, is where the actual flight suits are. Now, just walking in the front door is probably going to get you seen and attempted to be stopped and thrown back in that little jail. And they'll probably be not too happy at me. So we got to figure out a way to kind of get in there. Once you're in there, it's going to be fine because you just got to throw a rock at that thing fast enough. Hope it doesn't melt you. And then you're in. So we just got to make sure we can get in close enough. My only idea, there's really 2 options. There's going in all the way from the outside, which would put you closer to the flight suits, but you would risk being seen by anything out there. There's a lot of Boxcar Children kind of running in and out of here. Or we could try to go through some of the air vents and just drop down nearby. Pick up a rock and hurl it as quick as you can.
Here's the thing. Do we need somebody to witness us?
Oh, they'll see you. This isn't like a sneaky closed room. There's always people around them. So you will be witnessed.
Once we get in there, it's okay. It's just getting in there so we can get in proximity of the
once
things.
you get in and throw a rock at it.
Okay.
Yeah, getting in is already going to be is a challenge. Once you're in, people will try to stop you. But if you're able to throw a rock at that, you're in.
Well, here, let me see. And Ocean looks around. Is there any rocks nearby that we can just grab?
Oh, there's all sorts of rocks in there. That won't be a problem.
Okay. All right. Well, how about the air vents? I like that idea.
Let's do it. And he kicks an air vent right next to him. And he goes clattering into it. And you guys crawl into that. Okay, as you guys are sneaking by, give me a act under fire roll to remain cool and quiet and collected. We get a nice die-hard camera angle of you guys crawling along this air vent.
It's a 10 for Ocean.
Whoa. It is a, what is that? It's an 8 for Book.
Okay, something distracts you a little bit. Book, what is it? Something slows you down, basically. You notice something that makes you want to slow down and listen or look or investigate that area more.
Ooh, okay. I think Book sees like a door marked like archives or something.
That'll distract you.
You guys are going along this air duct, and what originally slows you down a little bit is both of you hear a discussion underneath you as you're crawling along an air duct, and you look through the little vents and it looks like it's just like a normal meeting. There's like a PowerPoint presentation on the screen. There's like 4 people in the room. It's not pretty big, and they're going over some new tactics that they may employ. And you hear a person at the front with a big stick tapping on the screen and going, you all know when we're fighting the combustilators that they usually set up their ground to have significant landmines, and that can cause a lot of fear and confusion in the Boxcar Children when we run towards them in our endless waves. If we just pre-wire 20% of our people to explode, then people will expect it and not turn around when it happens. And that should, and you just see them, they're talking about ways of just like killing their own people, but accomplishing their goals. It seems pretty heartless, seems a little chaotic like most of their stuff. But this, like, there's some like constant like nodding and excitement. Like people are engrossed in this presentation, and you see along that back room or a back wall, there is a door that says Top Secret Archives.
Are we looking down at the war room right now? Like, is that Hot Goss?
Not the war room. No, this is a smaller office.
Okay,
This is not Hot Goss. Yeah. This is a little breakout session for a particular problem, not the big one that's causing all the kerfuffle of potentially being flooded. People still got to work, you know, just because the whole societal structure may collapse soon. People still got to do their day-to-day job.
Yeesh.
But yeah, you see this door that says archive or Top Secret Archives in it.
Ooh. Book rubs his hands together, which makes him kind of fall forward onto his elbows.
There's a little clunk and one of them looks up. It's like, do we have rats in the rafters again?
He stays very still. It just starts like shuffling forward as slowly as he can. But then he taps Ocean and points at the archive room. And then he's like, fuck, you can't read. That says archives.
What kind of archives would they have there?
I don't know, but I bet they have a bunch of stuff on my parents.
Well,
And also the other stuff that we're interested in, but mostly my parents.
I mean, we can try getting in there if you want.
But imagine like they probably have stuff on the yellow Humvee people. They probably have stuff on that hospital that we killed everyone in by accident.
Hey, we didn't kill everybody in there.
We like straight up did, dude. What do you mean?
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Ocean kind of turns over to Crash and says, "Who's allowed in that room?"
Allowed is a very interesting term to use with the Boxcar children. The only people who have the key would be people on Cookie Crisp's team. But if you're trying to get in there, I bet there's an air duct. So the archives are usually very climate controlled. So it should go near it, but it may be difficult because they're going to have like extra humidifiers and stuff, dehumidifiers, rehumidifiers, dehumidifiers, and things like that. So we'd have to kind of go through all those series of challenges.
Crash, were you planning on taking the vents back to Hot Goss?
Oh, no.
Maybe could we to see if we could drop down into that room on the way back?
We potentially could. I didn't want to worry you guys, but there's a pretty significant drop at the end of this.
Well, we got rope. We got rope.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I meant for getting back up here.
I was going to stay in the vents.
Our legs are going to break, aren't they?
They could, but you may have some new flight suits or something. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, should we hit this room before we go too much further? I kind of feel that once we throw those rocks, we're gonna pass a point of no return here.
Crash, how much time do you think it would take? Could we be like in and out in 2 minutes?
Yeah, we can be in and out. We just got to be quiet. Don't want people in that room there to hear us.
We'll be quiet.
I'll keep lookout up here. And he looks through a vent and he goes, okay, go just down there to that left. You see now there's a big vertical drop there. You want to go down that and that'll lead you into that archive room.
All right, Ocean, you're going to lower me down because I wouldn't be strong enough to pull you back up, but you're strong enough to pull me back up.
Okay.
All right, we do it. Break.
All right.
I start shuffling that way. I think for this one, it's just Ocean's lowering me down by hand, and then I'm going to jump back up and grab him. He'll pull me back up.
He's lowering you down, and luckily there are actually a lot of things to stand on. Luckily for this part of it, unlucky for the next part of it. There's a lot of things to stand on as you're going down, because it does look like there's some additional mechanical things running that may be controlling the climate of this room additional. So it's only like an 8-foot drop to get down there. So we're thinking like 10, 11-foot ceilings, 8-foot drop. You got like 3 more feet before you're on the ground. But as he lowers you down into that, I don't think there's any roll for that because Ocean's a big, strong boy.
Okay.
If you're trying to like get up quickly, there may be a roll. Your feet clunk a little louder than you would have liked on top of it, but luckily these things are also making a good amount of noise. To try to get through them, you see there's like more rotating fans and stuff like that. So any options you want to try to take to get through that, either disable it or go around it in some way, anything you want to try to come up with.
Like in the vent, there's fans?
Yes, in the vent. You're getting a good picture of probably what this looks like. So there's probably a wall grate in the archive room. And on the other side of that is this kind of extra humidifying equipment of some sort. You're standing on top of that now. So normally if this was just a normal room, you could just pop the vent down and go in. But there's some stuff and fans and compressors and things kind of in your way.
Oh, no. Okay.
Give me a read a switch roll.
10.
Okay, ask me 3 questions.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go, what's my best way in? What poses the biggest... Well, I feel like I know what poses the biggest threat to me. My 3 questions are, what's my best way in? What should I be on the lookout for? And what represents the best opportunity for me to gather as much information in as short of time as possible?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Luckily, you're not as big as Ocean, and it looks like there's an area that you could probably squeeze down into. The only challenging part is that there is like this kind of big, slow-moving fan blade, not the sort of thing that like is going to chop your hand off or anything like that, but you think like if it hit you, it would make a really loud noise as it clunks against you. So it looks like you could fit, but you'd have to be really careful, and if it does hit you, it's probably going to draw attention to this area. What to be on the lookout for is if you do disable this, you are worried there may be some sort of alert you see as you kind of lower your head down into this area where you'd have to kind of cramply shove yourself through, you see a little readout for a temperature gauge that says 68 degrees, and it looks like digital, like it's intentionally trying to keep this room like that. And you're worried that if you like disable this stuff, then it may heat up, cause some alarm to go off, which would again draw a lot of attention for you. And then to get the data, you're able to get low enough to look through this grate. You see a bunch of file cabinets. You see one computer, like one screen with a keyboard that looks to be hooked up to a bunch of server racks. You see a locked drawer underneath that computer that says file backups. So to be like quick, you don't know how old they are. If they actually do this, this could be from like way the before times, whatever. But to like quickly get information, you could probably just grab one of those backups, but you wouldn't be able to see anything quickly. To actually get data, you'd have to like look through the files and things like that.
Okay. All right. So what I would like to do is wind a piece of rope around the bearings of that big fan, not so that it stops, but just so that it slows down a little bit to make it easier for me to pop in and out. I want to put a big knot in it so like it doesn't chew it up, so that I can like pull the knot and untangle it, if that makes sense.
I like that. We'll do an act under fire for that, because I think you could do this if it wasn't a high pressure situation, or if you mess up, it makes a loud noise.
That's an 8.
You go and you find this little turny point where there's enough room for you to tie your rope around it, and you start tightening it. And it does slow down. It does look like it's successfully slowing down, but it starts making this like a little bit of like a grinding noise that seems like it's starting to get a little bit louder. Right now, it's certainly not like an immediate, oh no, there's a problem, but it's like starting to get a little louder.
Uh-oh.
So you think you may even have less time if you use this approach.
I'm gonna stick with it at least for the drop down, and then maybe I'll like, because once I'm leaving, so yeah, so if it, but once I drop down, will I be able to pull the rope out?
It's like so cramped that you're basically gonna have to scoot yourself through. So as you scoot yourself back up, you'll be right where you are now. It won't be, it's not far. It's like 3 feet beneath you, 2 feet beneath you.
All right.
Until you're on the ground.
All right, I'll drop down.
I'm going to just make one roll all the way through, also opening up the grate and getting through all that sort of stuff. So just give me one, try something challenging, but you can have advantage because of this prep work you've done. That's a bad roll for you though, so good luck.
Well, I rolled 2 5s, so I guess I'll re-roll one of the 5s.
You get +0, so you're good anyway.
Okay, so yeah, I got a 10. I did unlock an improvement, but I'll kind of bank that for now.
You don't get to roll aggro much, so finally got you that last one.
I got it on the last roll, the cool roll.
Oh, the cool roll. Okay. So you are able to sneak through there. Luckily there's just clips on this grate, so you don't have to like unscrew anything. You unclip it, you deftly lower it so it's flat on the ground, and you scooch yourself out. You hear that kind of motor still straining a little bit, but to your medium expert knowledge, it doesn't sound like it's like about to like blow or anything like that. It just looks like it's struggling, and you feel like you got at least a minute or two before there's going to be any significant issue. Don't think there's any reason why anyone would expect you to be in this room right now.
Okay. Yeah, first things I want to do is I want to just grab one of those backups. So I guess I'll have to jimmy that lock.
Yes, that is locked. So give me a act under fire roll.
4 and a 5 plus 3 is a good as a 12.
Nice. It is a file cabinet lock. Those things are child's play for you.
Yeah.
You just freaking turn that shit, pop it open.
Can we just say that another drawer was open so I could just move the bar that runs along the side of it and open the drawer?
You open the drawer right above it, which was unlocked, take it all the way out, which completely reveals the underneath one. And you see thrown in there are a bunch of, it just looks like solid state drives, just stacked up, unlabeled, anything like that.
Are they no labels? Like not even like date?
No labels.
Okay. Are they dusty? Is that like a least dusty one?
You feel for the least dusty one. You draw your finger on the top of these Samsung brand 970s, and you see which ones leave any trace. And you find a couple that seem significantly less dusty. Not too many, but a couple.
Okay. I'm just going to grab all of those. All the least dusty ones.
They're super light, super easy to just throw in your bag.
I don't want to screw these people. Should I leave one?
In case something happens.
No, I'll take them. I'll take them, and then I want to close it back up and lock it, and then I want to go to the hard file cabinet and look if they have any folders labeled like McCready.
Okay. You go through the different sections. Would there be anything interesting right around M? Let's think. Give me a 1d3 roll.
Should I do a d6 divided by 2?
Yeah.
Or even, how would that work?
Just d6 divided by 2. That's all you got.
How do I
want a 1 and 2 is 1.
I got a 2.
Okay, so that's a 1.
Oh no.
Okay, you do see a file with McCready family written on it. It looks newer. You notice there are a couple different colored files in here.
Yeah.
And it looks like all these newer ones are like this kind of crimson color. You see, as you pull out McCready, the file right after it is mechanical override codes.
Oh,
I grabbed that.
oh shit.
Okay, and then last thing before I jump out, just want to what did they call what did they call the silent? Did they call them the yellow Humvee people?
Yes, they called them the yellow Humvee people. They were represented by yellow cubes.
Just going to Y. There's not a lot of Y words. Is there just a yellow Humvee file?
Yeah, they're actually, so the bottom file cabinet, it says YZ on it, and you open it, and it's one giant file with yellow Humvee.
I grabbed the whole file, I put it in my bag, and then I scurry out of there.
That one's actually kind of heavy, but you're able to scurry out of there. Okay, as you're going back up.
I want to unravel the cord around the fan.
Okay, give me one more. Try something challenging. Still have advantage on this one.
Get out of there.
That was a 5 and a 6. Let's see if I can make it a 6 and a 6.
Oh, hell yeah.
No. Okay, 5 and a 6.
Okay, yep. So with an 11, you were able to slide back in. You crumple yourself back up, pull the grate closed, and as you pull yourself upward, you unravel this cord. The motor stops complaining, and you reach back up to Ocean's welcoming cold fist, which drags you all the way back up to safety in the vent system.
Book wipes
Hell yeah.
the sheet of sweat off of his face. He's like,
You look like Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 1.
exactly. I feel like I've redeemed myself a little bit. He's feeling a lot better about himself. Book wants to do a
That
really
went so much better.
cursory glance. Crash, can you read?
Yeah. What a dumbass question.
Not everybody can
No,
read,
man,
Crash.
not everyone here can. So let's take it easy there, pal. Anyway, could you just I want to hand the one about my family to Crash. I asked, hey Crash, can you just quickly skim through this and let me know if anything interesting pops out that you or I didn't already know? I feel like you know most of what I know.
Yeah, I know pretty much everything you do.
And then I'm going to kind of shimmy away because I don't know how Crash feels about this, but I'm going to look at the one that says mechanical override codes.
Give me one of your research rolls.
Should I do the McRead these notes?
No, give me a research roll.
What am I rolling for that? Sharp?
I don't know how it works. What do I look
Yeah, you
like?
can't expect him to know the rules.
Do I
for
have a
this
research
game.
move, or is that the black box move?
Black box move, yeah.
Okay, on a roll sharp on a 10 plus, MC answers your question from your source's point of view. On a 7 to 9, there's a bunch of options that you can pick. On a miss, the MC. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll and then we'll cover the partial or the miss if we get there.
Yeah, all you have to do is tell me what you're trying to find and roll on it.
Okay, so what I'm trying to find is basically just what's in here and how is it useful for me. Like, is there anything about the power suits? Is there anything about the door? Like something mechanical override for the door would be like very, very useful because then I could tell them that we could potentially override the door opening, which would be molto bene for
Yes.
Bookie. So I'm gonna roll sharp for that. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. So that's 6 plus 3 is 9.
Any way you can help Ocean. That would get him to a 10.
Let me think.
The answer is immediately yes.
Because I can't fucking read. So I can't really help that way.
Get fucking creative, pal. Come on.
I have not explained what the format of this looks like at all. So if you can come up with any sort of bullshit, that would be like you can recognize a pattern of stuff or anything like that.
I was just about to say, can I look at that and be like, this seems familiar based on my my background with the yellow Humvee people and it seems like I have some kind of engineering background and I can like look at that and be like, hey, that looks similar to this thing that I've seen in the past.
Okay, give me a help someone roll and we'll see how good you do.
Okay. It's an 8 for help.
I'll say you can push him over to a 10 with that. With your 8 help.
Yes.
I'll say what you notice is that this looks pretty incomprehensible. And again, you don't know how to read English, but you notice a bunch of the one whole column of this as you look over his shoulder seems to be physical addresses for different things. You recognize that as like a MAC address for a server type of thing.
Hell
It's a combination of letters and numbers.
Hell
Looks
yeah.
like that.
I knew I'm not gonna be able to read, but I got that backing.
So Book, as you're looking through this and as Ocean points that out, you realize this looks like just a straight up list of physical addresses followed by a combination of like bit flips. There's like a big binary number after it that would somehow be input into some system to treat it as a hardware override for particular commands. There is also English words in here helping to describe those different areas. And as you dig through, you do find some stuff that seems like it's related to the door. But you can't track down in this amount of time like, oh, here's the exact one we need, just input it in here and we'll be fine. It seems like this is the sort of information that would make sense for that, though.
I need to read into it further. Okay, cool. I quickly shuffle that back in my bag. Crash, what do you find?
Look at this. And he turns around a page and it looks to be a drawing your sister probably made of her hanging out with a bunch of boxcar children and they're throwing balloons at something. That's cool.
I think those balloons are full of gasoline.
Or pee.
Well, the balloons you threw at me were gasoline.
Or pee.
Those other ones were pee?
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh.
I kind of figured they would.
Come on.
Yeah, why do you think we have a wizard?
What?
He's the master of whizzing.
Is that all you found? Oh my god. Is that okay? Is that all you found was a picture of balloons?
I got distracted. Look how happy she looks.
She looks very happy. She also looks very pale, even though it's a drawing that she made of herself.
Yeah, somehow she made, like, the paper's white, but she found a crayon that lightened it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild. Okay. Nothing else?
No.
God, okay. I guess I'll look at that later. I put that back in my bag. Let's go throw some rocks.
Okay. As you guys are going further along, you end up seeing, you go over there's a huge grate in front of you. And he's like, okay, try to keep your stance wide, inch along. This is, I believe, if my math is correct, this is actually over top of that big Grand Poobah war room that I was talking about before. So we want to be very quiet here. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
As you guys are inching over, you hear some voices echoing upwards, and you recognize one as Hot Josh. And you hear her saying, somehow the bigger one is even dumber. I know it's hard to believe, but he seems to not even just understand like normal concepts. I don't want to understate how dumb the first one is, but the other one even stupider somehow. It's unfathomable.
Book just keeps crawling.
The ocean's shaking a little bit, but he keeps on walking.
Okay, you guys get to the other side, and Crashy goes, okay, I think at this intersection here. Okay, if you look down there, and you guys all peer through, crowd around some Goonies-ass camera angle, and you look through this vent, and you see underneath you what looks to be almost like a nice, big, separated Olympic championship podium, and on two of the spots are these large flight suits that you've seen spec'd out before. This is in a massive hangar room. This vent has gotten you're still at like the same height you were before, so you're like 11 feet off the floor against one of the side walls. And this is a large hangar, so you'd have to run all the way to the middle or get in range of rock throwing or whatever to get to them. As you peer around the room, there are like armed guards around. They're not like between you and the flight suits. They're near the doors. There's some people going in and out of the back exit, stuff like that. No one is like overseeing it directly, but it would be pretty unlikely to not be seen pretty quickly in this room, especially if you come down with a big clunk or if a rope slides out and then you guys come down a little bit longer. I feel like you'd be noticed pretty soon. And you do see all over the ground are just different pebbles, rocks of different sizes and shapes.
All right, let's go. No sacrifice, no victory. We'll get to the Arctic Circle, lads. That's from Transformers.
What?
That was more me talking than Book talking.
That was just for Brady.
Yeah. Archibald Witwicky says that to his crew at the Arctic Circle before they discover Megatron.
Sam Witwicky.
No sacrifice, no victory. We'll get to the Arctic Circle, lads. All right, let's shimmy out of there. You said don't use the rope because we'd get noticed sooner?
No, you can. You're probably getting noticed no matter what. So what approach do you guys want to take? You want to try to remain sneaky as much as possible, or do you want to just...
I think he's just going to run. Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Like, can we see people that we like? Is it feasible to avoid people?
If they're paying any sort of attention, no. There's really no place to hide. These are in the middle. This is made for like big ceremonies.
Then we're gonna run.
This would be like an empty Taylor Swift concert trying to run to the front row from the side.
And Crash You, he's staying up in the vents. He's not coming down.
That was his plan. Yes.
That's a good plan. We don't want him seen with us.
So you could do just like a quick rappel type thing to get down. You could drop, but like I said, it's like 11 feet. So rough drop.
We'll do a quick repel, yeah.
Ocean has a plan.
We'll fast rope down.
Ocean has a very bad plan.
Book also has a very bad plan.
Ocean's been thinking about how there seems to be no rhyme or reason to who gets vaporized by the giant robots, and based on who throws the rocks. So Ocean wants to take a look at them and open his mind to the psychic maelstrom to see if he can see anything that might reveal why they seem to be so selective.
Okay, give me your open your mind to the psychic maelstrom roll.
Okay, that is an 8.
Okay, so you guys fast repel down. Both of you actually give me a act under fire roll.
So 13.
That is a 12.
This was for how long it takes before people notice you and start reacting to it. So you guys do a great job coming out here. So you guys rappel down this rope, your feet clunk into the ground, and you start sprinting off towards the 2 remaining flight suits in the middle of this room. And Ocean, you open your mind to the psychic maelstrom to try to understand how these things work just a little bit better. So for this, I'm actually going to kindly ask Brady to remove his headset, and we will wave frantically back at you when you can listen again.
Oh, no.
I don't want this answer to change how you react coming up shortly. So, okay, Brady should be gone, everyone. Let's test it. Indiana Jones is pretty overrated. Okay, he definitely can't hear us. So before I give you your opened your mind roll to these things, I want to ask you, do you actually believe any of this Chaos Cult shenanigan stuff? Do you think that they actually grant wishes or anything like that?
I don't think Ocean does. I think Ocean is intrigued by the concept of it, but I still think I don't think he's a very superstitious fella. So he thinks there's got to be some kind of trick behind whatever's happening.
Okay. As you're running towards this, your brain switches to like combat mode, and you're thinking of this as like a battle now. And you notice in your periphery, while remaining focused, like people start definitely taking notice of you. There's some like chatter going around as you guys are sprinting towards this. Oddly enough, some of it just seems more excited than like worry. Like this is a really cool thing to be happening. And you open your mind to the psychic maelstrom. But this time we've talked about kind of what it seems like before when you open your mind.
Okay.
This definitely feels different.
Oh.
Yes, this seems unrelated to the tower and the AI, which seems kind of has been the flavor of most of the other times you've opened your mind to the psychic maelstrom. This one is darker and kind of just this rumble. You don't hear that static. It's more of 1,000 whispers in the back of your mind, just constantly filling up and getting louder and louder. And you see your vision kind of flashes in front of you for a second, just like there was a lightning strike outside, but you've never seen lightning. You don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the view in front of you, these flight suits look much more like just grand statues that have strange architecture to them, these odd swirls and spikes around the corners. One of them is now holding this like massive sword. The other one has like a spear in its hand, and there's this kind of dark swirling shadow where you know this third one should belong, even though it definitely is like a bit of a scary, I would say, view. It's a bit of an uncomfortable, horrific view in front of you. There's still something about it that just like draws you in towards it. You want to be close. You want to understand this better. And then there's another flash, and it looks exactly like they did just a second ago. They're just 2 flight suits, nice mechanical, looks like high-tech technology sitting there. You get a better view now where you're at, and they do have names on their podiums. You see right in the middle is Excalibur. To the right of it is Andruil. And to the left, the empty one is Masamune. We checked it. I pronounced that correctly.
I believe you.
Okay. And that's the one that's missing. You are faster than Book, so you hear his footsteps clomping behind you, but you're in front of him. You feel your feet starting to hit these gravel and rocks, and you think you're probably in range of being able to throw something at him if you want to. You will have to roll for it regardless, but I would say you found nothing useful with your 8 about.
I'm about to say I'm not feeling lasered, but it does give me some very terrifying lore implications of these things. Running to it, as he's running, kind of kneels down, scoops up a rock, and throws it at You said which ones are the two left?
Excalibur is closer. A little bit further is
He's going
Andrew.
to throw it at Excalibur.
I think it's going to be a do battle roll. And you're like, yeah, let's just roll do battle. Let's see what happens.
Oh, I'm very anxious about this. Okay. Come on. That's a 10.
Oh, nice. Okay. Where do you want your full success? This may be a rare opportunity to not choose the one you normally do.
I'm going to.
Maybe not, actually, if you think about some of the options. So, do you want to basically choose one of those offensive options, or do you want to take less damage?
So, what are the offensive options again? Because it's been a bit since we've done battle.
That is good for our listeners, too. Yes. So, the offensive options are inflict terrible harm, which is usually what you take. Maybe not as useful in this situation. Seize hold of something, get them out of your way, impress, frighten, or dismay them, pin them down. Are any of those jumping out to you? It's exciting.
Impress jumps at me. It jumps at me a lot.
Do you want to take that?
I want to take Impress.
Excellent. So you scoop down this rock and just hurl it as you're still running forward. You don't see a giant laser come out and shoot directly at you. Instead, what you see is on the arm of this flight suit, this like energy-based shield materializes it to try to even protect itself. Your hurl of this rock is so devastating. Heading towards it, you put it right on target. It looks like it was like going right towards its face, and the shield appears on its arm and it moves to try to block it, but you actually threw it too quick and it bounces right off the top of its skull and it just and there's a little scratch left in it, and then the shield deactivates and its arm goes down. Did you whisper a wish into the rock before you threw it?
Yes. Ocean picks up the rock and whispers into it, "Help me take down the tower."
Okay, give me an open your mind roll with disadvantage.
Open the mind roll with disadvantage.
Actually, I'm going to negate your disadvantage because you did it before and you got kind of a different understanding of how this thing works.
Okay.
So I'm going to say just a fair roll. What I was going to do for everyone listening is I was going to have you have disadvantage if you didn't believe in it at all. But now you kind of understand that there is at least something.
Yeah, because he didn't believe it at first, but after he saw it, now he's like, what the fuck? Yep, that is a... God, I'm doing so... This is fate. This is an 11.
Okay, there's just this flash right as the rock hits it. Your vision just like goes completely dark. And then you just see this pair of eyes looking back from this thing and like a nod, like they just slightly move down and back up. And then there's a flash and you're just back.
Shit.
Nothing seems to change with you. You just like got this feeling of acceptance, and it did feel really nice. Like it felt greater than just what you like saw there. You felt like just this complete acceptance of something, but that fades away very quickly as you find yourself in this big open room surrounded by people. You hear Book's footsteps as they run past you as he looks like he's charging up towards one of the flight suits. Okay, Jacob, you go away now.
Okay,
you
whatever.
try to take off your headphones or just hang up because we're probably going to end the episode before you come back. And let's wave Brady back in. Brady. Book, what you see is Ocean sprinting in front of you. In your periphery, you see a lot of the boxcar children starting to notice you guys are here. Again, you're not being sneaky. You do see it's a mix of like alarm, like some people are grabbing their guns and heading towards you, but there is also just like an air of excitement. Like this may just be a super fun thing that's happening and they'd love to see it. And you refocus on the platform in front of you. And from here, you can see all three of the names on these different flight suits. There is Andrew Will on the far right side, in the middle, Excalibur, and on the left, there's a podium that at one time held a flight suit called Masamune. And
Is that some weeb shit for Jacob?
yes, that's some weeb shit for Jacob, even though your mom took it. As you run forward, the slightly faster Ocean reaches down, grabs a rock, and hurls it at the center one, Excalibur. You're starting to catch up with him as he kind of has to slow down to do this. And you see a energy shield appear on the side of the arm.
Are we facing like the front of the robots, or are we like running towards their back?
Yeah, you're coming in at like 2, but you can see their front. You're running at them. Ocean scoops this rock, throws it. It does clunk off of the head of Excalibur, but it was trying to actually block it with this energy shield that appears on its wrist, and it is not quick enough. Ocean threw that fucking rock so hard, but then he kind of skids, and you're just running past him. Are you running past Ocean?
Yeah, I keep going.
You run past him.
I can't throw as far as him.
Yes. No, his throw was tremendous. So as you sprint past him, is there anything you're trying to do to avoid or notice anything? Do you want to look at anything?
I want to get as close as possible without looking like a threat.
Okay, give me a read assist roll. That should be good for that.
One of them landed on the arm of my chair, but it didn't fall.
Oh, very good.
So I feel like that counts. But it was only a 3, so I'm going to count it. I rolled a 5 and a 3 and a 3, so that's an 11.
11. Okay, ask me 3 questions.
Well, first of all, like, who even? My 3 questions are, what poses the biggest threat to me? What should I be on the lookout for? And what represents the best opportunity for me to get close without getting harmed?
That's a hard one. I'll give you answers, but they may not be your happiest answers. As you're running towards it, from a biggest threat perspective, you definitely notice that you guys got the drop on the boxcar children. You have very little worry about from them. Like, you obviously couldn't just like stop here and ponder for a long time, but if you continue onward, you're certainly going to get to the rabbits before the boxcar children get to you. So the biggest threat remains these 2 standing statues of destruction.
Okay.
And you can see that it looks like they are kind of warming up a little bit. There's kind of this glow on the opposite arm of Excalibur, the left arm instead of the shield one. And then there's also a glow on Andrew. And you notice that there's a reason they normally throw rocks at these and they don't get much closer. As you're getting nearer and nearer, you see the rocks are getting less prevalent and there are more horrendous scorch marks on the ground and like bone melted to the metal floor. You feel like there's a perimeter here where it may just activate them to defend, not necessarily just we got hit by a rock. It's keep your distance around these things. And you are quickly approaching that, but with your roll, I'll say you get a pretty good idea of like what that line would be, where one step more and this thing may shoot at you. To get close, there's really nothing to hide behind. You think the only prayer that you could be slightly safer than just approaching these is if you tried to line it up so the 2 rabbits were collinear with each other, because then at least one of them couldn't shoot at you, right?
Right.
You'd still probably be shot by one though, or shot at. Doesn't mean it'll hit you. Shot at by one.
Yeah.
While the other one may decide not to shoot or may try to shoot around it and it would be way less accurate, something like that. Because you haven't seen their feet move this whole time, even with the like defensive move of Ocean. Their feet have remained firmly planted.
Okay. But I know my mom got close.
Yes, your mom got close.
Okay. I'm gonna okay. Does it look so they've noticed me?
You think so? They're not like looking at you or anything like that.
Okay. So I want to stop. I don't want to cross that line where all the scorch marks are.
Okay. You skid to a halt right in front of it.
But I want to put both my hands up as if I'm surrendering, and I don't want to take one step over that line.
Give me a reason with someone roll.
Oh God.
And I actually think this may have disadvantage because it's not a human.
Disadvantage, you say?
Yes. Yeah. So just 1 extra dice and then replace your lowest.
Replace my higher.
Sorry. Yes. Replace your highest dice with the lowest one.
Okay. Wait. How does this work? I rolled 2 5s and a 2.
Okay. So it's a 5 and a 2.
Plus 3 is still a 10.
It's still 10. Okay.
Holy shit.
You step over this line. So you skid to a halt. You step over this line with your hands up, and its torso turns Excalibur, the closer one to you, turns its torso directly at you and is just staring, but it does not fire.
Oh my God. Okay. I walk up to it.
Okay. It is tracking you closely. It actually lifts its other arm up and you see this like little pin-like apparatus come out that seems to have a glowing light on it, and it is tracking you, but it still does not fire on you.
Okay. You said it's about the size of a human person, right? Just slightly bigger.
Tall, it's like 6'8" and bigger in every direction.
All right. How wide is its stance?
It's standing like a champion, like Superman.
Okay. I'm gonna do something real stupid, Stu. Okay.
This is where he dies.
I want to like roll between its legs, pop up behind it, draw my cane sword, and smite it on the helmet.
Okay. The close one, obviously, right?
I am smiting Excalibur.
Should this just be an attack someone, or should I make you roll act under fire first? You're good at act under fire, and it could be cool if you do well. So give me an act under fire first.
Oh, shit.
Not a great one.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. You jump and roll between its legs, which luckily it is large enough for you to be able to do that. And as you go and draw your cane sword, there's a shing. As you pull it out, you notice the other one turns and aims at you. Andrew lifts its arm up, and this warm light starts heating up at the end of it. And you just hear this, but you can do battle with this one if you want to hit it. This one will probably get a shot off on you, though.
Yeah. Hold on. So Andrew is facing me now? All right. I have a question for you.
Yes.
On the back of Excalibur, do I see like an access handle or anything?
Yeah, so you don't have a ton of time to really inspect it, but it does look like there's definitely some apparatus. You probably get in it from the backside. You see some seams, you see some handles and valves and stuff like that.
Okay.
It also doesn't look like that sort of thing that you'd be able to do before this thing could shoot you.
Right. That's fine. Does it seem like Excalibur's also going to turn around?
You haven't seen its feet move, but its arm looks like it could probably reach behind itself.
But I'm like, does it look like it's about to like turn its body to try to see me is I guess my thing.
Yeah, probably. If you had to guess. It did turn its torso to you before. It's not the most flexible thing in the world.
I want to jump on Excalibur's back.
Oh my gosh.
Because I don't think the other one will shoot Excalibur. And so my hope is that by jumping on Excalibur, the other one won't shoot me.
So your hope is that they are lovers. Okay.
Yeah. And then once I'm on Excalibur's back, I want to raise the sword up in my hands and just smack it on the helmet.
Okay. Give me another act under fire roll. This is for the first shot that's coming at you, basically.
Okay. I rolled a 10.
Okay. So you're getting hit by a twin pulse cannon. This does 4 harm, concentrated fire.
Is it armor piercing?
It is not.
Okay. So then I take 3.
Minus another 1 because of your full success.
Oh, okay.
But you do see that it looks like it is starting to charge up its long range energy lance.
Oh, God. Okay.
Which looks a little more dangerous. So this is in its shoulder. It's something slides over the backside of Andrew, and it looks like almost a wasp stinger. And it is trying to track you as you're flailing around this thing. Give me a do battle roll to smash your sword into the top of Excalibur.
So I'm rolling two sets of dice, right?
Correct. And you get to assign one of them to act under fire and one to attack someone, but both are using hard.
Well, that's fucked because my heart is a -1.
Yeah, you're not good at fighting people.
So that first roll was a 5.
That's pretty bad.
But the other roll was a 10.
Okay. Which one do you want to be?
Well, I don't actually care about damaging it, but I do need to hit it if I'm going to join the boxcar children, right?
Yes. So a full miss on that may not be great for your chances of clunking it even.
Shit.
Because
All right.
just so you know, this is the do battle with the robot you're wrangling with, not the other one shooting you. So if you completely fail the attack on it, it may be doing something to get you off.
I'm going to fail the act under fire and I'm going to get the full success on the attack someone.
You're aware that will mean you're probably about to take a significant amount of damage, right?
Yes, but because my attack someone is a full success, I get to choose 2 of those things, right?
Correct.
I would like to seize hold of Excalibur, which is the coolest sentence I've ever said. And I would like to impress, frighten, or dismay the boxcar children / the Excalibur / the super robots.
I have an important question for you, which is the entire reason we're recording this separate from Jacob right now.
Yeah.
All of that stuff he could have listened to fine. As you're going to clonk it with your sword, are you whispering any sort of wish into it?
Yes.
What are you wishing for?
Book whispers. I wish for my family to be alive. And then I potentially shatter the cane sword on the helmet of Excalibur.
No, so it is a big heavy metal thing. So you're not doing tremendous structural damage to it. In fact, your cane sword is 2 harm, and this has 2 armor. But you do bring it down with a resounding clunk that reverberates throughout the entire.
Can we say it was a clang? I feel like clang is a little bit more impressive than a clunk.
You bring it down with a resounding thunderous clang, which was my nickname in high school. It reverberates throughout the entire room. You see the boxcar children all stop. They look aghast at the fact that you're able to get onto this and just hit it. You see Ocean probably will confirm with him when we're recording with him, but probably looking a little bit concerned about your current situation.
Yeah.
And as that clung reverberates and your whisper of a wish travels through the air, give me an open your mind to the psychic maelstrom roll.
Oh, shit.
I only ask you one more question first, actually.
Yeah.
Do you actually believe the boxcar children and this chaos god and that their wishes come true?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Here's the thing. Like, Book has seen people turn into smoke wolves. You know what I mean? And like crazy cheese melt monsters and just the psychic maelstrom alone. So I feel like he doesn't have like a strong conviction either way. But I feel like that uncertainty is enough for him to be like, I don't care if it's real or not. I just hope it is. Does that make sense? Does that answer? Yes. Or do you need a firm answer?
No, that is good enough of an answer. Okay, give me an open your mind to the psychic maelstrom roll.
Oof. That's a 7.
As this clang reverberates, you feel the back of your brain opening up, but it's different than the static that you normally feel with the psychic maelstrom as it kind of rolls over you, and you've since come to understand is related to the AI in the tower. This feels entirely different, but just a little bit similar, where it feels like your mind's almost going through the same experience, but it is from an entirely different source. And instead of that staticky feeling and sound you get, it sounds just like thousands of whispers raising up underneath you, saying contradictory statements that you can't quite pick out what they are out. But you just hear one word start getting like a little louder, and it seems like it's almost made up of different portions of these whispers that are happening. And you just hear alive, alive, alive.
Oh shit.
And then
the back of my head really does open up.
And then it's going to sound like I'm not giving you one of the things that you asked for, but I promise you are. But what you're also getting is a high-powered laser beam through the lungs.
Oh, God.
As Andruel unleashes this just pinpoint-wide laser beam that shoots just directly through you. You barely even feel it passing through you. It's just like a momentary warmth and a smell of like sizzling bacon. And you feel your breath just kind of leave you, like your lungs just deflate. And you're going to take 4 armor-piercing harm.
Okay.
Are you still okay?
I am, in fact. My life has become untenable.
Okay. You collapse down underneath Excalibur, and Excalibur kind of bends over you and cocks its head a little bit. And then you hear a bunch of like hydraulics and sounds being made as Excalibur opens up its back, allowing someone to crawl in, but your vision fades to darkness.
Oh shit.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Oops, All Apocalypses. If you have any fun questions or comments, you can send them to us at oops@stu.cool. That's oops@stu.cool. If you have a specific question for like just me or just Brady or just Jacob, just use our first names at stu.cool. They're all exactly how they sound. The music and editing was performed by Stu Masterson. Brady McDonough made the logo and art. And Jacob doesn't know how to plug in his fucking microphone all the way. Love you, bye. The only challenging fart.